Hello, Autoans and Autowans from around the globe. Today is a truly special day because we get our next sneak preview at this month's update. The big October patch that I think will bring tons of players back to the game. I'm going to front load all the information here and then discuss some of the finer points a little bit later. The blog post breaks down into 3 topics. 1, changes to the settings. 2, changes to pacing and balancing, specifically affecting cultures. And 3, aesthetics and mods. So let's talk about settings. Well, they talk about the settings for resource abundance, which we kind of already talked about, basically allowing you to turn up or turn down the amount of luxury or strategic resources and really customize the game to how you like it. Next, they talk about end conditions, and they allow you to turn on and off which end conditions you want. I want to hit you with a quote here, exactly from the article. You will be able to enable and disable the end conditions of your choice, even allowing you to disable pollution or the turn timer for a pure last player standing game. I don't know about you, but I think that's awesome. They then talk about pacing and balancing, and here is the meat and potatoes of the article. They first talk about the Neolithic era and how they found many players find it too easy just to stay in the Neolithic era, collect large amounts of units, population, and influence, and this kickstarts their early game. So they kind of want to reduce this a little bit, and they want to lower the amount of food you gain from sanctuaries. They want to make mammoths more dangerous, and they also want to have a small upkeep for scouts to kind of discourage you from having a huge army to swarm the map and attack nearby enemies. Basically the Spiffing Brits video. They also talk about the late game. Now the late game goes by so quickly, and they attribute this to primarily rapid economic growth of players' cities, which kind of makes sense. They're going to be addressing this in a few ways, so I'll hit you with a few quotes here. We're looking at the costs for technology and construction, especially in the latter half of the game, to bring them more in line with the resource yields achieved by our players. So basically they're saying your cities are too powerful and things are really too cheap. So I'm going to hit you with another quote here. And it says, additionally, we're working with the stability impact of districts and wondrous luxury resources to make it more difficult to maintain very high stability in the late game, in spite of building numerous synergizing districts. Now, this is basically when your entire continent's flooded with districts, but you're trading for all the luxuries in the world, so you're actually not worried at all in terms of stability. I think this will be a great addition to make it more challenging, especially at the higher difficulty levels. The other way they want to address the pacing is tweaks to cultures. Now, they do recognize that some cultures are far and away better than others. They think the rapid economic growth has to do with special buildings for different cultures. Let me hit you with a quote here. Powerful economic bonuses significantly contribute to the economic power responsible for the fast pace in the late game. They're also removing many of the unconditional per population bonuses on emblematic quarters like the Khmer Beret or the French Exhibition Hall or the Turkish Public School. They also talk about combat strengths being affected in a follow-up November patch, which will likely be a lot lighter. They also talked about civics and how, the value's not always there. So they've revised the value of a lot of civics and they've changed the way they worked. They gave one example which is going to have a huge impact, and that's nuclear disarmament. It'll now not only provide you with grievances against those with nuclear weapons, but will give you a permanent boost to your fame gains and lower base war support between you and other empires to encourage peaceful cooperation. They also mention it's a percentage bonus to future fame games, so you'll only benefit from the bonus if you keep it up long enough to gain fame while it's active. Finally, in terms of pacing and balancing, they talk about affinities and how the expansionist affinity is often regarded as the weakest affinity. I wonder why. So they're adjusting the requirements of the expansionist Aristar while improving their active ability by making it free and usable against empires you're at war with. Now I've given you a summary of all the major impacts and front-loaded all the details of what's going to be coming up. If you appreciate that I've done that, and you like the content and you want to see more of it in the future, feel free to hit subscribe. I play this game literally every day, and I post videos on it at least once a week. They wrap up their blog post by talking about aesthetics and mods. They talk about personas and how that's going to be changing, right? We've worked on the avatar persona system, they say. We've added random personas, so when you're picking your opponents, you can just set it to random, and when you're playing your game, you might be surprised with who you run into. I'm sure this will make for a few funny moments. To manage your own personas a little bit easier, they're also adding a button so you can upload it to the Games Together screen or download it. They also mentioned the color pickers and how you'll be able to choose your own palettes for subtitles and things like that to really customize your game. I would definitely go with, on the first day, Halloween theme, orange and black. Definitely a way to go. They've also gone ahead with mod support for the game, which is huge. I'll hit you with a quote because I couldn't have put it any better myself. We've integrated mod.io in the game now, so you can simply log into your account through your game and let it download any maps and mods you subscribe to on Humankind mod.io page. The first version of the Humankind mod tools will be also available on Steam, allowing you to create your own content for the game. I just want to say I'm super excited about this patch. I think a huge reason why so many people left was because there was a ton of bugs and the pacing was completely off. I think they're addressing the pacing and the bugs simultaneously. Realistically, it's a solid bet to see a growth to actual players coming back to the game. But the thing that I really want to mention about this dev team and what they're doing is their responsiveness. They're monitoring the forums, blogs, and things like that, and really value our feedback. They're going to be instituting a new survey system when you uninstall the game, asking, why'd you uninstall? They really want to make this game better, and this is one of those games that's not going to be going away anytime soon. They're going to be consistently adding to it, consistently updating, and it's going to be huge. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait for people to come back, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to see more similar content, you can feel free to like and subscribe to this video. It helps me out a ton. I'm still under 100 subs. If you want to leave a comment and subscribe, I definitely take a look and appreciate and will remember those who liked and subscribed first. Thanks everyone for all your time. Thanks for watching. And I look forward to seeing you when this patch is up. Oh, and I got great news for you. If you're bored and got nothing to do, I've handpicked the videos on screen right now, because I know they're ones you're going to be interested in. Enjoy.